We are a charter broker company. Clients find us to get the best deals on the market. We have an access to a lot of, like a network of 12,000 aircrafts worldwide, from a very small propeller plane to a huge Airbus. Actually, we analyze the best options for our clients, send them the quotes, and they book each flight. And when they are happy, then they come back to us and book the next one. If the last minute means, you call us in the morning as a client and would like to fly from a quite popular place, like midday, so 3-4 hours later, that's really the fastest. But, that involves also a lot of work and, to find the right aircraft and the crew, everything has to be already at the airport. They have to prepare the flight very fast. So usually our clients book a couple of days in advance, or at least 1 day in advance. Depending what a client would like to fly, what kind of trip. If it's a small, short trip, we have access to piston turboprop aircrafts, light jets, mid-size, heavy jets, long-range jets, even airliners. So we have sometimes some clients who book for their whole company, like for an incentive with up to 180 passengers. So I would say 1 till 180 we can manage. Maybe it's also important to say that we work with a huge network of aircraft. So clients contact us because we book almost 1,000 flights a year. We get really good deals from the jet operators, and so we see always which aircraft is available at which airport for the best prices for the clients. I think that's a huge advantage. Call us early, so the earlier you book an aircraft, the more planes are available. Yes, and then of course, if you don't fly alone, if you take your friends or business partners or family with you and fill up the aircraft, that's also, I would say, more cost effective. Of course, if we have an aircraft with 8 seats and 8 people are flying, it's the same price nearly. So maybe it's just a little bit more expensive because of the passenger taxes and catering, but that's not really a lot more. And if you are flexible, this helps as well. So if you have an important business meeting, you have to be in London at 12 o'clock on May 15th, then we need really to find you some, we can only work with normal charters, not with empty legs, because they are a bit risky. But with empty legs, you never have a guarantee, but you can use empty legs as well to save money. So ideally, the clients book in advance and listen to their brokers, because we know what are the best options. Empty legs, so-called positioning flights, where, for example, somebody booked an aircraft from London to Paris, and the jet is actually, the home base of this aircraft is in London, so they will fly with the passengers to Paris and then have to position back after the flight with the passengers empty back to London. And this so-called empty flight and leg, we call it leg because if you fly from A to B, this is in the aviation called a leg. So this empty leg will be cheaper, so they sell this for up to 50% of the normal charter price, the jet operators. Yes, of course you can. We have especially the longer flights, up to from starting 4, 5, 6, 7 hours, 10 hours, 12 hours. These aircrafts, most of them by now have Starlink or other satellite systems where you have internet, but you need, as a client, we inform always the client about the costs, because some jet operators still have some old contracts where the internet usage is quite expensive. Some have a flat fee already, so then you know exactly how much it costs. But we had also cases where clients paid 1,000 or even a couple of thousand euros only for internet on a flight. So it has to be checked depending on the aircraft, if it's equipped with internet and which internet service provider and which prices. Yeah, I can tell you in Europe, Nice, Paris, London, Palma de Mallorca in our case, Ibiza, in summer Mykonos. It depends on the season. So there are all the capital cities in Europe quite busy. Also Budapest picking up. A lot of places in the US, it's more like New York, LA, Miami, and some other big cities. I think it's depending on the season and clients' preferences, yeah. Can be possible depending on the stage of the flight, and of course if the pilots, if they have contact with air traffic controllers and towers and so on. In theory we change, but while they are flying it's very rarely that the client want to change the airport. Usually what happens is like before the flight, and clients change their mind, or the weather is bad and then they choose another destination. So it's possible, but it's not that easy. Yeah, they have direction. Yes, they have an alternate airport close by. So when you make a flight plan, you want to go to St. Moritz, for example, and if the clouds are too low and they can't see the airport, they have to divert then to Zurich or Altenrhein in that case. So several options. Hey Sherlock, how you doing? You want to come here? Yeah, sits. So sits. Fine. Okay. Yes, look here. Here's one pet already. Here's already experienced flyer. He was flying with us already. We have pets like cats, dogs. We had even some parrots, some different kind of animals we transported, and especially the dogs. They lay on a blanket between the owners, and it's very comfortable. So they don't need to be. Also like a big dog, a huge dog like Sherlock is no problem. So most of the jet operators are very dog friendly, and you can bring your pet with you. Yes, and you will not believe that a lot of football players order from McDonald's. Although I tell them that depending on the aircraft they book, mostly they book a smaller planes, so light jets, super light jets, and there is no oven, no microwave, so actually they will eat it not really warm. So we try to heat up even the McDonald's food at the airport with the handling agent, but only the bigger aircrafts. Actually, is also important to know for the longer flights they have oven, microwave, and there we serve proper, main like different courses, like in a gourmet restaurant. If the client get a menu, he can choose what he likes. Every client has different wishes. So some want some healthy food, just some fresh fruits, but canapés, fresh fruits, sandwiches, salad. This is in any aircraft possible. Specific wines, champagne selection, or that's absolutely no problem. Yes, what fits in, what don't. Usually we inform the client, we ask them how much, bags. Normally we ask how many big bags, like 20 kilo each, they plan to bring on board, and then we double check with the jet operator. We know roughly the amount of bags for each aircraft, but still it's always better to check with the jet operators, and then we make sure that the baggage the clients want to bring on board fits into on the specific type. Because there are huge differences. There's like a Legacy 650, you can take almost unlimited luggage there, and another aircraft which is same size has maybe only half of the space. The Challengers don't have so much space, for example. So we check this always, but in most cases it's not a problem. And also golf bags, or sometimes client ski equipment. Last time one client took a big painting. So we check the measure, how big it is, and then we double check. Funny request I always used to say with two elderly ladies who wanted to fly from London to Balaton, Hungary Balaton Lake, back, and they had 12 cats. So we were a bit surprised. They had only one cat actually, but over the years they were so kind to this cat that friends of this cat came to their house, and then they adopted the second cat, and after a couple of years they ended up with 12 cats, and we could take all the cats, and every cat in one bag had her own seat. That was very funny. So two passengers with 12 cats. Yeah, this is a very good dream. I dream big, you know, work hard, and one day can afford it, or you share with your friends and try it out. On the short, private jet flights are only super expensive if it's very far away. But if you fly, you know, in a smaller aircraft, only 1 hour, and you share the jet with 6 or 5 other people, maybe it's a bit more expensive than like a normal business class ticket. Flying private jet can vary from affordable for, you know, normal people who have a good job, till prices where really only the rich, you know, if you want to fly to Australia, it will be very expensive. It's very far away. You need a big aircraft. But on the shorter routes within one continent, I think they're really for almost everybody one time to try that out.